Going on, guys? Jet fan here. Roma on the screen. Revel is the commander, obviously. Just going to go quickly through these rundowns. I'm basically just showing you what the specs are with Paulo Revel as your commander. Feel free to rewind or pause as needed to review some of this stuff. Quick look at the armor belt there. Note again, 32mm bow and aft, and then you got a quick look at the citadel. Do not show broadside in this thing, especially up close. You will get punished in it, but you can get away with it a little bit at range. Sometimes because you have a thick deck, you can get away with some of the at range long broadside shots. But again, don't tempt it because there's a good chance that you could still get citadeled and get absolutely ripped apart for standard pens. So Roma, let's talk about it a little bit. I think Roma, I would like to try Roma with a dispersion commander. I wish the Italians had a dispersion commander, and I'm sure they're going to get a dispersion commander once the Italian BB line comes out, which, I don't know, if I had to guess, it's probably the next line to come out. I mean, at least that's what I would think. I would think that it would be coming out in this next update, maybe August or the September update. But we'll see. I could be completely off on it. That's my guess, though, is that they're due for a line. So that would be what I would think that would come out, but who knows? It's just a guess, because I know that they mentioned previously that the BB line probably would be coming out sometime for the Italians, but they never gave a date, and I figure it'd be a great time for them to come out with another Italian line, and something like that. So that's just my guess. I could be completely off. I'm obviously not a CC or anything. I have no insight into wargaming or how they think or what they do, but that's just my guess. So again, you're seeing even against angled targets here, you can still do some significant damage. One thing I want to talk about with Revel, you have the option for that Artisan's Touch perk. Not a big fan of it. I find that, especially if you fight cruisers, you just overpen everything. I mean, legitimately overpen everything. So I'm not a huge fan of that perk. And even against battleship broadside, you sometimes struggle to even do like substantial standard pen damage. So I prefer gyrating drill bits on this setup here because of that. And again, I think that Roma is a brawler. She likes to get up close and get into the fight. Bismarck, where is she weak? Just above the belt armor there, kind of in between the deck and the armor belt, so you got to aim a little higher on her. I'm trying to angle up against both the Bismarck and the Georgia. I don't really want to be giving 18-inch guns, a good angle to shoot at me. But at the same time, I got 3 kilometers. I got a Bismarck, so I don't want to be giving him a lot of cheek also. But there you go. You see what I'm talking about, where you got to aim. You see another 7K pop, 7K rip. I'm freaking out right now because those other shells bounced. But our friendly Bismarck did me a solid, helped me out there, took him down, took the enemy Bismarck down. So here we are basically in a situation where I'm trying to defend this cap and do the best that I can to force the Georgia and the Bismarck back, and basically, do what I can to defend. You see another decent salvo there, decent chunk. This Tirpitz, I thought he was about to suicide rush, so I was a little concerned about that. I was I'm not gonna lie, I was very concerned that he was just gonna push around this corner and suicide torp like some Bismarcks have a tendency to, or Bismarcks, some Tirpitz have a tendency to do. While we got a half second here, I just want to run over the stats and I just read them off to you real quick. The heal per second, you get 436 on the heal, 22 second duration with a 75 second reload time. And with this build, where I'm at, I got the 4. So if I were to get Revel to obviously level 16 commander, then I would get 5 heals for this Roma, which would make it even more tough. We've been up and close in this fight here for basically since this game started. We've been fighting and scrapping here, so this has been a rough and tumble go. Here you see a Citadel on Suzuya. Suzuya's about to go down here. I figure between me and this Tirpitz, they're going to be able to take this Suzuya out. Let's see. I think he might get him here. Somebody's gonna get this guy. Somebody's gonna, and I just take a huge wicked salvo there from a BB off in the distance, and there we go. Secondaries on this Roma, we get the close quarters, so it's solid. Not very disappointed in that. So, by the way, I gotta mention something because I completely dropped the ball here. I mentioned that I like gyrating drill bits on Revel. Well, he doesn't have gyrating drill bits, so um, yeah, I would like to. What I mixed up my talking points there. So what I wanted to say was that I wanted to try gyrating drill bits on a dispersion commander instead of the Artisan's Touch, but obviously we don't have that option. So on Revel, I have the secondaries, the Porcupine trait. That's what I have on Revel. There's his long shot there on Georgia. Can we get the Citadel? So again, you're seeing a good mix here in this Roma. So uh, I want to stay within Wilderer build range with this Turpit. I want him to get back. I don't want him to keep chasing this Charles Martel because he's just going to keep hiding away, and he has the advantage if that's how we're going to play. If we're just going to try to chase him down, he's going to pull us around this island, and there's going to be a Georgia and God knows what else, Bismarck, Georgia, whatever, with our flat broadside that's just going to punish us. So we're up to 86,000 damage here. And then notice the B cap. Right? Second I pull out of it, what happens? Oh, we get spotted. Or the B cap starts to flip, right? So I am a little concerned. I'm highlighting the sector on the map where that guy is. I need the surfaces to kind of get ready, turn around. I'm trying to figure out what the best angle would be to fight this guy. I'm going to start turning out. I think I popped the heel here too once he's going to start getting ready to shoot at me because I want to do everything I can to stay alive. There it is. I pop the heel. Let's go out broadside. I throw the rear guns out. We get two fall short and one overpet. Turpitz takes a huge salvo, gets chunked. So at this point now I'm saying, all right, we got to turn out. We got to get shots on. We got to punish this Georgia. He's sailing in. He's, making this aggressive push around the island. He eats 2 torpedoes there from the Turpitz. My front guns go out. I misaimed them. And the other gun goes out. I get 1 ricochet. So there's a full 9 shells that were whiffs. So again, I really wish that I had a dispersion commander just to try it out. I mean, I'm not saying this Rebel commander is not solid because I have 87,000 damage. We got a cap. We got 2 defenses. We've been doing some work here in a battleship. So again, I want to apologize. I mixed up my talking points a little bit there. Paulo Revel does not have gyrating drill bits. Again, do not think he has gyrating drill bits. That was a total screw up by me when I was talking. Just forget that I said that. Again, that slot 2 perk where most dispersion commanders have gyrating drill bits. Obviously, it's a tank build survival commander with Revel. So I have the Porcupine set up. You could, if you wanted to, you could do the crisscross if you want a little traverse. But honestly, I think that these Roma guns turn relatively well, so I'm not too terribly concerned about that. Real quick, we got a half second here. Now I want to actually get in. I want to talk about the artillery. 3x3, 381s, 25.3 second reload for this build right now. And obviously, the more you level up, the lower that's going to drop because of his base perk. 5100 max HE shell, 24% chance to set fire. Not very good HE shell characteristics on this Italian battleship. Stick to the AP unless you're fighting a destroyer, and you're fighting a destroyer, then feel free to switch to the HE. But 1200 base AP shell damage, or 12,000, excuse me. So, makes up for it a little bit there. He sees 2 standard pens on a well-angled target. The Artisan's Touch I just am not a big fan of. I think that it really just causes a bunch of overpens, and you struggle to do alpha strike damage against cruisers, and those are the ones that you really need to do the alpha strike damage, because when you're reloading, they're peppering you with high explosive or spamming torpedoes at you, and you're losing your health and you're getting chunked pretty bad. So I do not recommend using Artisan's Touch So that's just my opinion. If you like it and you feel, obviously feel free to keep using it. And if you do like it, please, leave a comment, leave something down below. We can always have a discussion about what's going on and why I'm wrong. I'm not going to say that I'm right very often. A lot of times I am wrong in this game. Like I was wrong earlier in this video where I completely jumbled up my talking points and said that Paulo Revel has gyrating drill bits. So, anyway, Alaska's pushing in hard here. Alaska takes a wicked salvo. I'm going to aim right on the guns, which means it's going to hit superstructure. And we end up taking him down for our second kill of the game, up to 108,000 damage in this one. Roma, in general, I think she's kind of a forgotten ship, and I don't think she gets the credit and the love that she deserves. Because, honestly, I couldn't tell you why, but I think that she's one of those ships that is just kind of forgotten. Because there isn't a main Italian BB line, maybe. And maybe because there isn't a dispersion commander. And honestly, maybe because there's other ships that can do what she does a little better. And I just feel like she came out at a bad time. The game was still relatively, on the newer side, didn't have all the attention that some of these other lines have. Maybe, I don't know. But I feel like when I am out on the ocean and I'm playing this game, I am not seeing a lot of Romas out there. And honestly, I think there should be some more. I'm in a really bad spot here. I'm expecting to go down. I'm expecting to sink. I'm trying to figure out who to get my last salvo off because I don't think I'm going to have much more left after this. So I decide I'm going to go for the Bismarck. I'm going to throw a shot out at the Bismarck. I threw the spotter plane up. Bismarck salvo comes in, and he ends up taking me out. My return salvo hits him for 8k. So I end up going down there. I end up finishing up with 128,000 damage, 2 sinkings, 2 cap defenses, a capture, and close quarters. So with 40-something odd secondary hits. So again, decent showing in the Roma. So guys, if you have the ship and you decided you wanted to get away from it and not play it as much or whatever the reason is, I would suggest giving it another look. I really would. If you're worried about the accuracy, my general setup, right, is Revel, and I have Joe Jard for the AP pen, and I have Cunningham. Pretty standard battleship build. If you're really worried about the accuracy, put Irish Lane Scharnhorst on there if you have her. That'll help tighten up that grouping. Or I should say that's actually dispersion. So between that and the grouping of Cunningham, you're going to be cutting down substantially. So feel free to do that as an option, But I'm saying, and as you saw in this game, honestly, these Italian guns are not too terribly inaccurate at range. Sometimes you get a wonky dispersion here or there, but these aren't like Tirpitz guns or Bismarck pre-buff guns, or Nagato guns that sometimes do it even worse than others, where you have a broadside flat target and you just send a salvo on it, just just looks like absolute garbage. So I think the Roma's guns are actually pretty solid. You get a lot of standard pens and a lot of like 6, 7, 8K. It's real similar to me to like British lines, but with the ability to be more punishing on broadsides and substantially weaker HE. So you got that little trade-off there. So yeah, you might get some more Citadels in it. You might do a little more damage that way, but your HE is virtually worthless against anything other than destroyers. So just keep AP loaded in the chambers, honestly. If you gotta overpen a destroyer, then you just deal with it and you send those salvos out, whatever. I would strongly suggest, though, giving the ship another look. We'll just run through the stats here. The AA is the weakest part on it, but as the German carrier hype is cooling down, you're seeing less and less carriers, which means that these ships that aren't the best AA ships have a place back in the game. So you see the sinking there. Down goes the Reds. We're going to finish this one up here. So I'm going to get some level ups here. You're going to see I'm real close to getting Georgia. And then again, with this build, 30.9 knots in the water, 12-second rudder, 14.5 concealment. So give this ship a look, guys. It's a good one, 2700 XP. We'll see you next time out on the high seas, guys. Take care.